Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kim, or the Travelling Surrogate, and for those of you who are new here, I had a baby for a lovely couple 6 months ago. I was a surrogate mother and I'm now travelling around on my maternity leave. If you can hear the cat in the background, that's Cookie. That's a lovely 21-year-old cat who lives with the woman that I'm staying with for a short amount of time, and she shouts when she's hungry. There's also some other background noise. There's a child having a massive hissy fit and has definitely made me realise that I do not want kids. But without further ado, I'm going to get my belly out as I always used to for the pregnancy updates. I might leave my top on though, because I've only just monetised the channel and I don't really want to be making strikes and stuff. So what I'll do, I'll take my shorts off, but then I'll still show the belly. So here we are. I'm feeling pretty slim. I measured my waist earlier. I was measuring in at 33 inches around the waist 4 months ago. So on my 8-week update, I was measuring 33 inches. I'm now 30. And my hips were measuring at 39 and I'm now 35. So I have actually lost quite a few inches around the waist. I have been doing some exercise, not a massive amount to be honest, but backpacking, carrying all my kit around, it makes a big difference. Also, I'm probably going to start sweating in this video because I've had to shut the door because of the noisy kids down there, and it's 1 o'clock. It's the hottest time of the day, so I haven't planned this very well at all. I will quickly just talk through my scar as well, because unfortunately, there we go, I have had some keloid scarring. So here is, what do you call them, silicone strips. So I'll peel them off actually, so that you can actually have a little look at the scar, because these strips are reusable, which is very handy. They're a bit grim. I'm going to stick them here actually so I know where they are. Let's see if I can get it in frame. There we go. So it doesn't hurt at all. Many months ago I wouldn't have considered putting those strips on and just pulling them off like that. The keloid scarring has actually gone down a massive amount. I'll find a picture that I took just before I started using these strips, and it was very raised, very angry, and it's actually nowhere near as bad as it was. It's much, much flatter. I've been using them for 4 weeks, so another 4 weeks, hopefully it will be completely flat. The redness is something that will just go down over time. It's kind of looking a bit purpley to me at the moment, but it's not too bad. I was watching the 8-week update yesterday. I was editing it, and I hadn't actually realised how much my stretch marks have gone down. I'm really pleased with how much they've faded. I tend to wear my bikini here anyway, so they're not getting like sun damaged or anything. The one that was really bad was this one, and that's gone down loads. There were even some here which I'd completely forgotten about, and yeah, they've pretty much gone. A few on my inner thigh, but that was just from where I gained weight. So otherwise, I'm feeling pretty good. I wouldn't say I've sprung back into my old body, but yeah, I have lost a lot of the weight. I don't think I'm ever going to get my body back completely. I've got, you know, loose skin on my tummy now, my belly button piercing, one of my regrets in all honesty, because that has scarred quite badly and it doesn't look very nice. My boobs, I do have a little bit of stretch marks underneath this one, which was the slacker boob. This was the dominant boob that produced a lot more milk. So this one used to fill up and yeah, it stretched out a lot more. But they've pretty much gone back. I am now in my old Victoria's Secret bras. These are my pre-pregnancy bras, so my boobs have pretty much returned to what they used to be. They're just a little bit softer. The skin is definitely a bit bouncier and a bit looser where they did get very engorged. Out of the whole experience, I think the pumping milk bit was the worst. I didn't enjoy it at all, and I don't know how women feed their children, sometimes for like 2 years. You know, hats off to them. I think it's really impressive. So I've sort of worked from bottom to top today. So yeah, coming up to like my mental health, I definitely feel like I've had a shift. I feel like I've changed quite a lot as a person. Some mornings when I've been travelling, I have woken up literally with like palpitations, with my heart racing, like, oh my god, I haven't booked accommodation next week. Usually I would book things just a couple of days in advance. So it's definitely changed certain elements of myself, which I don't know if that's still hormonal, if that's going to change over time, or if that is just sort of a new me. But it's quite interesting that that is very much hormonal and what's going on in my body, and not necessarily related to actually having a baby, because a lot of women I know do experience that. So I haven't got anxieties about cot death or the baby's health or the immunisations or anything like that, but I have just now got my own anxiety, which is a bit strange. Otherwise though, my travels are going very well, except for the fact that I broke my camera. So that is in a camera repair shop in Barcelona, and I should be able to pick it up in a couple of days. I'm borrowing a camera for now to make this quick video. The baby was 6 months old a couple of days ago, so yeah, I am pretty much... What day is it today? It's Saturday, and I would have given birth on the Tuesday, so yeah, almost bang on the 6 months, a couple of days late. They're getting on really, really well. The parental order went through, so I suppose I could just talk through the parental order very quickly as well. I didn't really have to do very much, so I don't know the ins and outs of it. I got the baby's birth registered with the father when the baby was a few weeks old. He had to come back down south and we went to the registry office together. Didn't need the baby or the mum there, but we did video call her while we were in the room just to make sure we got all the spellings correct and stuff, because it's a faff and expensive to change if you get it wrong. Then they applied for the baby's passport and the parental order through the family court. I believe you get a court-appointed lawyer, and then she was lovely actually. She messaged all of us and got us all on the emails and everything. There's so it's CAFCAS, and you have to do like a portal thing so that everything's all secure. And yeah, it all went through really smoothly, to be honest. It was just a waiting game, waiting for the actual court date to come through. And then when it did come through, it was by Teams. So I was sat in a hostel in Valencia, and the baby's parents, the baby and the maternal grandma were all there together. And it was a really quick, like 10-minute hearing. The judge said, thank you to me for my significant contribution to the family. This, you know, doddery old man. It was hilarious. I was like, yes, okay, significant contribution. I'll make a note of that one. That's sweet. And it was all over very quickly. They'd read through all the paperwork. They didn't need to go off and deliberate or anything. They were all in agreement, and the parental order was granted. So that means I now get taken off the birth certificate. The baby gets issued a new birth certificate with his mum's name on it. And it's kind of the end of everything, which is nice, because up until this point I did have some sort of responsibility. If anything bad were to happen, then, you know, questions would have been asked. So it's very nice that that is now all fully closed, full circle. I am absolutely boiling. Ah, that's interesting actually as well. I still have hot flushes. I don't know, I don't think it's going to go away. Being 6 months postnatal, my hormones must still be all over the place a little bit, even though my periods are regular again. My cycle is back to normal. I have short cycles, so it's very frustrating having a period pretty much every 3 weeks. But yeah, I'm pretty much back to my normal. But the hot flushes are intense. I will end up sweating. I literally have like sweat pouring down my back sometimes. I was in Mallorca and I was walking down sort of old towny streets, and I was just boiling, and I was like, I don't know if it's actually hot or if it's just me, if I'm melting. So my body composition does seem to have changed quite a bit. I think that is pretty much all I have to say. There's not a great deal of an update other than, yeah, you know, my measurements, my scar, my belly, my boobs, my mental health. That is pretty much it. Thought I might as well just quickly show you putting my silicone strips back on my keloid scarring. So I'll give you a nice close-up of the caesarean scar, because I haven't actually seen a lot of scars that look like my scar. You kind of see like fresh scars or fully healed scars, whereas mine's kind of in this interim where the redness should go down within a year. So I'm 6 months in and it still looks pretty ugly, to be fair. It doesn't bother me because of how low it is, but it is noticeable. You know, if someone were to see below my bikini line, they'll be like, whoa, someone's had a huge operation. So yeah, I mean, I'm not ashamed of it or anything, it's just impossible to hide in certain situations. So yeah, I'm quite happy to show you lot, and yeah, I'll pop. Right, there we go. So there's a nice close-up of the scar, and yeah, I'll just grab my strips and show you the way I have to like line them up, because it is a bit of a faff. I have to sort of. So they are reusable. I think you can keep them on for a week, but the last one I actually had on for 2 weeks because it was still sticky, it was still working. You've kind of got to make sure there's no air bubbles in it, and you can see on this end it's folded over a tiny bit, so once it's stuck to itself there's literally no going back on that. So there we go, it's nice and flat, and then I just do the other side. The strips come sort of like this, and then I cut them in half, so I had to bring scissors with me travelling as well. Oh no! Oh, I folded that in now. This is why it's easier just to leave them on once they're on. Yeah, because that's... Oh, I might have done it. Yes, I did. And that's about it. It's not gone very even, but it doesn't really matter as long as it's on. And I've got a funny tiny little stretch mark just here as well, right in the middle. So, oh actually I am going to redo that one because you can see there's a little air bubble. So I'll just peel that one off again. This cat is going mad. And I will do it a little bit lower actually, so that I'm getting that stretch mark. Because I think silicone does actually help with stretch marks. Let's hope there's no air bubbles this time. No, we're good. And that's it. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.